Watchers don't do, and doers don't watch. So let's get to it. Let's get it done. You step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. 'Cause we're doers, and doers don't watch. If I'm anything like you, and I expect as much, we're both more than ready to.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is October the 31st, and it is Halloween Day, and things are heating up around the world. I want to talk a little bit about really like what is going to occur. World War III is already underway. We all know it. The only question now is whether it will go nuclear between Israel, the U.S., Russia, or China. All nuclear powers are on opposite sides of the Israel Hamas war. Each day we get closer to the first nuke being dropped. It is a sad day in history that we are repeating, that we're going to go right back into the nuclear situation, but it is at hand. Iran, who controls Syria, and the terrorist groups Hamas and Hezbollah, has both groups attacking Israel from two different sides. It is absolutely critical to remember Israel's Samson option, which analysis have given to Israel deterrent strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort against a country whose military has invaded or destroyed much of Israel. We know this is being spoken about by some in Israel, as we've seen an official already call for Israel to use their doomsday nuclear option on their enemies. This is not a deterrent to Muslim nations surrounding Israel, because according to their beliefs, the closer the world comes to being destroyed, the faster their Mahdi appears. So you have to look up the word Mahdi to know a little bit about it. But either way that we chop it up, if a nuclear weapon will happen in the coming weeks or months, the question is when, and much of the world is wondering who's going to drop the first nuke. World War III is definitely underway. We're feeling it. We're seeing more and more military, as I just showed in the video, coming in to and around Israel. Turkey has already threatened to declare war on Israel and to send ships in support of Hamas in Gaza. Conflicting reports indicate Turkish ships already underway, some claiming there's over 100 ships that are moving through the Istanbul Strait to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Republic of Turkey, while others claim those ships are really entering the war. As Israel continues to move into Gaza to root out Hamas, we are seeing that they're conducting raids, and I will pull this up so that we can take a look at it this morning. As you see there is many raids happening all around Israel. And the thing is the situation just keeps on escalating. We can see here by what's happening down here in the south. I mean, this is updated every single day. And if you look here, it is October the 31st. Biden has threatened to go to war with China on behalf of the Philippines, which is also another concern. Following ship collision near a disputed island, Biden said Wednesday that the U.S. military is willing to fight nuclear armed China on behalf of the Philippines after ships from the two Asian countries collided near a disputed and unpopulated island in the South China Sea. Now, the United States defense agreement with the Philippines is ironclad. Any attack on the Filipino aircraft, vessels, or armed forces will invoke our mutual defense treaty with the Philippines, Biden said during a joint press conference. If you need to know, or if you'd like to look it up, there is some information about that situation, but that has been in place for many years. One thing I want to talk about is the civil unrest that's happening in America. The U.S. is already seeing signs, huge signs of civil unrest from coast to coast, pro Hamas and those that are pro Israel, right here within our own borders. Excuse me. Ever since the attacks on October the 7th, New York University students were caught tearing down posters October 16th outside the Trish Hall. Then there's a lot of videos floating around of other people doing the same. There is so much, rioting, basically chaos, standing up for one side or the other, and the civil unrest is growing day by day. Historically, these attacks and protests carried out by Palestinians against Israel during the 1980s. The second Intifada occurred in the early 2000s. At least 1,000 Israelis were killed by terrorist attacks carried out by Palestinians. Now, the national chapter of the far left group Students for Justice in Palestine, called the SJP, called Hamas' attack on Israel a historic win for the Palestinian resistance. Cornell University Russell Rickford celebrated Hamas's attack against Israel, calling it energizing at a rally on October 17th. Jewish students at New York City's Cooper Union were forced to lock themselves in a school library after feeling threatened by an anti Israel protest. Hamas sympathizers at George Washington University also made themselves present by projecting their message on the side of the Gelman Library building. It said, "Glory to our martyrs," one message read. A Jewish student rushed over to take the flag before it was burned, prompting the pro Palestinian to hit the student with the flagpole. Topping it all off, we're seeing reports of American Jews and Israelis living in America snatching up guns at a dramatic rate, according to a Los Angeles gun shop owner. We're also hearing that Jewish residents in Miami and Palm Beach, Florida, are also causing a rise in gun sales. Right now, gun sales are soaring. The bottom line is this, folks. Many believe that on October 7th, when Hamas attacked Israel, we witnessed the start of WW3. If that's true, the amount of nuclear the country's taking side, it is likely Americans need to be prepared on multiple levels. If you have 2 months of survival food, increase it. Same with the water. Also, you may check into the potassium iodide radiation tablets. You may want a gig counter. You may want to get upgraded monitor dosimeter. You may want to get a rechargeable beta gamma X-ray portable handheld radiation monitor with the LCD display. You may want to get full face respirators, masks, and you may definitely want to get survival and tactical full face respirators if possible. I think that the situation is coming. I think that one thing that we also need to get is coveralls with hood and elastic cuffing, gloves, chemical resistant gloves. And we need to be prepared for any type of situation. For those that haven't prepared yet, you need to prepare for a grid down scenario. And that's really important. Having a power station, having a small generator, a jackery, having some type of situation that can help you is so important right now. I think long term food is going to come into to play. And I think it'd be very, very wise for each and every one of us to take that into consideration and have some type of food. The thing is when will it happen? I believe that it's something in 2024 if we can make it through the winter. But the way things are escalating, as you see here, I'm going to drop me down here in the corner so I can go a little bit into detail about this report. As you can see here, Palestinian news agency 3 killed in an Israeli bombing of a house west of Rafah, south of the Gaza Strip. 4 hours ago, a militia from the Gaza Strip crossed the fence in the Rime area, excuse me, according to the Israeli army spokesman, and identified the suspect near that Rime intersection and instituted and initiated a suspect arrest. There's a lot going on. Let me see if I can pull this up for you folks to take a look at. We used to always be able to pull these up, and for some reason, they've now changed it a little bit, and it makes it a little harder. Yeah, we can't see it. Hold on. Maybe not. Nope, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. So you can see by the videos, I mean, that are coming in, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but on the live map, that's right there in that area right here. And so there's so many things going on. I think that one of the big things that we need to look at and take into consideration that we haven't checked in on lately is what's happening right here in the United States of America. And as you can see by the map, the United States is on the brink of total disaster. From coast to coast, we have a huge crime problem. The crime problem is getting worse by the day. And you can see here, man dead following a shooting along the Phoenix roadway, Phoenix, Arizona. Down here in Texas, vehicle crimes, investigators on the scene of a fatal accident. But look at all of this. Sheriff investigates fatal shooting. A person is dead after a crash. Man shot and killed in St. Louis apartment. Another, one dead, one injured after struck by a car. And look at all the gun violence that's happening across. Officer involved shooting in northwest Iowa Monday morning. What do we got over here? There's so much. And of course, we have in the Chicago area. Look at that, folks. I want you to really take a look at Chicago. This is what'll happen to this whole country if if they take our guns. If they take our guns, if they take the Second Amendment, you can bet your ass this is exactly what will occur. Look at that. Chicago, gun violence, gun violence, gun violence, shots fired, 12 rounds. 7 to 8 migrants are fighting in the alley and they're all bloody. Chicago. Isn't that wonderful? And that's not even all of it. Let's zoom in here a minute so you can really see good old Windy City. Look at that. And in Chicago, the crime rate has went up, 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 and we continue to see this happening across the nation as they're implementing these stronger and stronger gun laws or no guns at all. Look up here on the East Coast. You can see here a stabbing, a man facing charges, fatal stabbing, another one dead. Police responded to the East. A person with a weapon, a 37-year-old Hispanic male, suffered stabbed wounds on his face. Here's another one. Southwest DC, a woman was apprehended after a disturbing incident where she stabbed a mother and her 6-year-old son. Police were called at the 900 block of 6th Street Southwest on Friday at 7:30 in the morning. Response to the stabbing report. The altercation between a 43-year-old. But you can see that our country, SWAT on the scene in South Oakland. Look at this, folks. 37-year-old dead. And then if you come down here into the Carolinas, and people always say, well, it's not going to affect me. I'm sorry to tell you, this is infecting everybody across the country. And it's going to be worse and worse, as you can see there. Look at that. Look at all these skeletons. You know, when we see that, that is somebody that's lost their life. And if you zoom out on the U.S., look at that. Are you proud to be an American? I don't know about y'all, but it is definitely getting heated up more and more around the world. I really honestly think that each and every one of us needs to prepare for a nuclear catastrophe. We also need to prepare for an EMP or a grid down situation. I think those are the two things that we should be very concerned about right now in going into winter of 2023. Imagine if your power went out tomorrow in 20-degree temperature with no electricity and no heat. It would be absolutely devastating. I appreciate you dropping in. There will be a news broadcast tonight sometime, and I'll be doing pop-up lives in the evening as soon as possible. Usually somewhere between 6:30 and 8 o'clock. There will be pop-up lives pretty much 2 to 3 days a week. Thank you for being here, everybody. God bless you. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep prepping, and don't give up because it's about to get worse. And whatever you do, just like what it says behind me, no hesitation. Make sure that your gut, that you're really truly following your gut and that you're not stepping around, that if things happen, that you are prepared to bug out if you have to. You have a plan B and C intact. Most importantly, I think what we all need to get on point about nuclear situation, I think will erupt. When it does, I think it will erupt in one of the cities. I will be holding a nuclear special this week. I've been saying it for 2 weeks, and I think we just need to go full force this week. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to all the channel members, the subs, and everything that y'all do. Do me one big, huge favor on your way out this morning. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whichever, but hit one of them. Thank you for being here. Big, huge prepper hugs, and you know how we take it out at the OTWP with one song. I'll say this, rise up and rise up now, folks. head on a swivel. Be safe out there. God bless you from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at. I'll see you soon, my friends. Oops, no time for music. I got to take it on out. Tomorrow, maybe tonight, soon. I have a little emergency, so I'll see y'all soon. God bless.